Demonic Angel, and I just wanted to show you guys a super simple altar, and that you can just throw this together in a few minutes. An altar does not need to be fancy. This was just what I felt like doing today. I've got my little wood wick candles and my little pieces of quartz. This is really cool. And then this is probably my favorite part. There's some pink in there, and I'm not sure what the the little bits of pink in here are, but this is so neat. Look at the it's basically just crazy awesome detail and little crystals in there. And quartz is though used for, well, I use it for channeling messages, for enhancing ritual and energy. And then I've been channeling Murmur, working with him a little bit. I really love philosophy, so I love to come back to philosophy demon and shoot the shit basically. I am making a witch jar for a friend of mine, really good friend, and yeah, of course it is just from kitchen spices, but like a true witch, I have goo off, and that'll just take this off of here, and it's still glass. I don't use plastic bottles, glass, because it keeps things, and obviously the lid seals tight so you could have your witch jar intact. It's great. A friend of mine recently sent me a she knows I like President Marbus, and she was having some paranormal problems, and she sent me a lot of stuff, including the dress I'm going to show you guys. But she's actually Christian, and we still are friends. We've been friends since junior high. So she knows that President Marbus is a lion, and so she sent me a ring. Isn't that so cool? I don't know. I just love President Marbus. You guys know that, and really got me excited, I suppose. But okay, so now that we've enhanced our our experience by opening our third eye with some quartz, got in the mood for with candles, let's talk some philosophy. Hi guys, Demonic Angel. Speaking of philosophy, I was just thinking about some questions people ask me, and now that I have a lot of people to talk to and have really deep conversations with, I thought that I would kind of go over this a little bit. People say, hey, what religion or whatever do you consider yourself? I really don't think that I am just one thing. Like, I'm not just a magician or a Satanist or an occultist. I look at everything, even things I don't agree with, like Christianity, Mormonism, Amish people, just taking little bits of gold out of everything. But I think that maybe the closest I can really get is that, as far as my own personal philosophy on this channel, it really is a blend of reincarnation and Satanism. And it was really cool because I went out in the desert hiking in the morning recently, and I realized, like, I had this sort of channeling vision that I experienced, like almost like a little psychedelic moment. But it was just that I think that Satanism and reincarnation really do go well together, and I'm channeling this message because this is with the idea of reincarnation, that people, you live many lives. You could, be a human, a different being, whatever. You could be an animal, plants, even rocks, and more of an animistic view of the world where everything has consciousness and is sort of eligible for reincarnation. That's really been something that makes sense to me for obvious reasons, because I really, I let myself imagine my last life so much that I have all these details, and it's very, very real to me, But, so what that tells me, though, is that no matter what, people want to be here. Even people who commit suicide, people who die after years of decline, it's still just the whole question of the experience. And I think that this really kind of ties into the way I view the Goetia, is that they're kind of like our brothers and sisters that, they fell, because they believed in the human experiment, that they wanted people to be here and to have their own personal gnosis. Gnosis really just meaning experience. That's pretty much what that means. And in order to have an experience, you have to incarnate. And when they did fall, it was actually very painful, is my really deep spiritual message for, pertaining to these demons. That it was a process of and in so choosing to fall, they experience great pain, and things such as loss of their senses, control of their senses, control of their intellect at times, and it's very painful. So that is also why people do say they experience demons in a very animalistic, primal way, such as people will say they get possessed, and it's just this emotional, it's like they're experiencing emotions at such an intensity that it's painful to watch and see. That's just because they literally are in pain, because of choosing to side with the human experiments, to side with humanity. And so they're very, very close to us in terms of their karma and what they really want. Humans want to be here, and that goes for all the good times that humans have and all the bad times. I was actually just having this conversation with my really good friend, Black Magic Sorcerer. We were talking about some Crowley stuff, and it's one of those things again. Crowley kind of always said that, this whole key to life is no restraint and just pleasure. But my real understanding is that pleasure and pain are not the goals of incarnation, but gnosis is knowledge, and along the way of that gnosis, there is pleasure and there is pain, and that kind of goes through a spectrum of sensual experiences to more like eras in your life or times in your life, like a happy, comfortable time that is pleasurable in a very wholesome way, to fantasy pleasures and stuff like that. But then there's pain, like you're in physical pain or bad health for a while, and then there's like a profound loss, like the loss of a relative. And all these things are just teaching you who you are, because they're going to happen to you. And that's where I grab in a little Buddhism, because it's like Buddha had to learn by experience that people die. You know, he was so closed away in the palace life from being royalty, he didn't understand that people get sick and die and that not everybody has enough to eat. But he went out and personally engaged and had the experience of, you know, humanity. So these all these, you know, timeless kinds of stories about the gods, deities wanting to be here to become human in some way, that's a very important lesson to pay attention to. So they become us many times. They choose to become human. They can do that, and they also just want to be near us. They want to be channeled through us. They want to, with the right people, they have, you know, sexual relationships. They serve as spirit guides to others. So we're all really close. That's my opinion, and that since we're not going anywhere, and since reincarnation for me is the rule, and, you know, from my personal gnosis, then the best thing to do is try to craft the experience, like, through the ego, you know, the best you can. You know, kind of meaning, like, you question, like in the spirit of Satan, the adversary, question everything. Question, you know, what you're putting into your body, what's happening to you, where you find yourself in life. And it's just this, if you question everything, that's what you do. You keep learning, you keep evolving. And there is nothing wrong with being alive now. And it's very much, you know, when we don't really say Satan, like when we refer to the hangman or ideas of deities who come here to suffer, pretty much because, you know, Satan knows that it's going to be painful, it's going to be pleasurable, but you want it to happen. I mean, you want to be here. And if, you know, because you want to have the experience of being human, then you know what, you know, I mean, you know that ride is going to be a roller coaster, but you choose to be on it anyway. And our senses, you know, really can tell us so much about ourselves. And there's just, you know, it's a call to become your own Godhead. And, you know, that's really what, you know, some of these ideas mean to me. But I did just want to share some gnosis, and it was like a channeling kind of a vision I had. I was actually drawing Murmur sigil out in the desert, and that was the philosophy. I was like, I have to tell everybody. So that is my gnosis for tonight. I'll talk to you guys later.